Rediscovering Church. Welcome to episode 4 of the ongoing podcast series here at the Higher Place. I'm Faustina and today I'm here with
Pastor Ade.
We delve into the sermon today, What the Church is the Church. So Pastor Ade, what resonated most with you today during the sermon?
I think what my takeaway today really was Pastor talking about whatever you're going through in life, God has always got something, in store for you. And we saw that today in Apostle Paul, going around persecuting Christians, and no matter what he did before, God still had some vision for him.
Wow.
That's what resonated with me.
You. Thank you so much.
No problem.
When we talk also about assimilation in the church, from today's sermon, what ways or how do you think a Christian could be assimilated? Could you just go over the steps of assimilation?
I think the first bit where he spoke about being intentional, I think some of it could be as simple as preparing, being intentional and preparing yourself to come to church, deliberately trying to seek God and trying to serve in the house of God. I think that's one way of being intentional. Another way, I think, with the assimilation was Pastor Paul talked about trust. Us opening our heart and letting the Holy Spirit work. I think he said it's a two-way thing to trust people, not just we have trust. Let's say there's trust in Jesus, but we're not doing our part. So trust is almost like an action thing as well. And we need to put our trust into, things of Christ. Just like we saw as that Barnabas, he had trust in Saul, even though he's done all those things before. He had trust in him that, he's believing in God, even though the other disciples were slightly scared. And I think the third one, I think Pastor Paul talked about being consistent. And for me, I just feel like doing the simple things, praying, like we're doing with our digital fasting. Pray, read the scriptures, keep fasting, and keep serving as well. I feel that those simple things definitely would help us to grow into disciples and assimilate into, disciples for Christ.
So assimilation requires intentionality, it requires trust, and it requires consistency, as you have said. Okay, so my question again is, it's like God requires us to use our gifts and talents. How do you think we using our gifts to serve will benefit the church?
I think using our gifts, I kind of say it like, the body of Christ is one body. And when we look at even our bodies, we've got hands, we've got feet, we've got legs, we've got head, heart, and they do different functions. But when we bring them all together, we're able to function better. We're able to walk with God better because all the body parts are doing different bits. And since we're body of Christ, we're putting all our different gifts into one bowl and we're serving God with it. This will help us to build our church. It will help us to grow. As we saw, there was a table which shows going from the journey of unbeliever to journey of being, son of God. And for you to get to that stage, you need to be, you need to accept Jesus. You need to assimilate and become, disciple. And we need to take action as well, which is, I think this question is all about taking action. It's all about building the church, building God's kingdom. And if we don't do anything with our gifts, it's just a wasted gift. And that, like I think we heard, would lead us into just consuming. We're taking in, but we're not giving out. So I hope that answers it.
Yeah, that's great. So you just mentioned about consumerism. So what do you think about a Christian who is just a consumer and not just giving?
Imagine a Christian who just, comes into church, comes in, hears the word, sits there, takes communion, and when it comes to, let's say, the old vision of what Jesus is asking us to do, to be disciples, to go out and evangelize, if that person is not taking part, then they're really missing the whole point and the whole message, the whole commission which Jesus assigned us with. Jesus has told us to, go out there, preach the word, and if we're just coming to church, sitting down, just hearing what Pastor Paul's saying, and we choose to do nothing with it, then we're losing all the opportunity. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Pastor Dave, for sharing your great insights. I've learned a lot from today's sermon and from the insights you shared today right now. So this is the end of episode 4. We'll see you in the next episode. Thank you. Bye.